Hi, I'm Brian Jackson here for IT World Canada in San Francisco. I'm at VMworld, VMware's annual user conference, and it's also for partners too. And in fact, I have Terry Buchanan, the general manager of Zycom Technologies, here with me today. Thanks for joining me.
Not a problem, Brian. Thank you.
So, a lot of announcements this morning coming out of VMware, and I just want you to take me through a few of them from a partner perspective and talk about what's interesting. I guess we can start with the big converged infrastructure announcement with EvoRail and EvoRack coming out later this year, although that's just a teaser at this point. But we know about this, basically this box that VMware is going to be collaborating with on partners like Dell and Fujitsu, and of course it'll be sold through the channel. And I'm wondering how interested you are in that product.
Well, we're interested in Evo for the S of the SMB side of the market more so than anything else, but we're already a Nutanix a lead partner, and they were the industry leaders and the ones that started the hyper-converged infrastructure movement, and their product set will compete directly with Evo from Rail or Rack, as VMware's announced it today, and it's going to be interesting to actually see how the competition goes between Nutanix and VMware Evo, although we're seeing Nutanix already having a leadership position in that space, so VMware's going to have to play catch up with the other vendors.
All right, and I'm wondering, how does that work when you're a partner? Because it's a bit confusing with this is a VMware software, and it's a VMware certified appliance, but of course VMware doesn't actually make hardware. So they're working with Dell and Fujitsu and some other partners, EMC for example. So walk me through that as when you're in the channel yourself, who do you actually work with when you're selling a product like that?
When we're selling a product like that, well, number one, we represent the clients more so than anything else. So it's really looking at, I think, said differently, the Evo experience in terms of what the solution set's going to offer clients is going to be picking your favorite vendor, and then if you can have a Nutanix-like solution with that favorite vendor, then so be it. However, then it comes down to what are the differences in the chipsets and the hardware components that they put in with the Evo operating system as I've seen it today.
Okay, so when you have that conversation with the client, how do you walk them through what's available? I mean, what is it, the sort of different needs that they might have, and the different converged infrastructure options that are available to them on the market, including EvoRail? You know, it seems confusing, but how do you help them get through it all?
Yeah, well, it will be confusing for the short term, I'll guarantee you that, because it really puts the client and the partners in the middle between the hardware manufacturers and VMware in terms of what makes sense for the given use case. And it's all about use cases. So at the end of the day, we start with the use case for the client, and the use case should dictate what type of hardware, software, integrated, hyper-converged solution they go with, and that'll point us in the right direction. So we always treat it from a vendor neutrality standpoint first, and that helps us get to where the client wants to be. And then it's going to come down to adoption. So Evo being brand new in the market versus something like Nutanix or other competing product, SimpliVity as an example, in terms of how they go to market, and which solution is the best mature model and fit for the client on the go forward. At the end of the day, you still have to buy vSphere hypervisor licenses on top, so VMware wins, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'm hearing a really customer-first approach. I like that, and I'm sure your clients really appreciate it. But let's move on now and talk about the vCloud Air network. So this is a new program. It's a bit of rejigging from VMware here, whereas previously they had some different names for how they sold their own cloud services, and when partners sold cloud services that they created via VMware technology.
Right.
It was called a couple of different names, but now it's all branded under this one vCloud Air network. And I wonder if you can walk me through, from a partner perspective, what that really means. What are the implications of that?
Well, the implications for us, and again, giving you the Canadian perspective first, is right now a lot of the vCloud Air services still originate on US soil, so the Patriot Act will prevent a lot of Canadian clients from being able to utilize those unless they want, obviously, the FBI or anyone else to look at their data of the CIA.
Okay.
So from our perspective, our services we've already built on vCloud Director, which will then grandfather into the vCloud Air suite of products. So our own disaster recovery as a service product, our own private cloud infrastructure, platform as a service product, anything we're doing in desktop as a service development right now for market will still be applicable. However, there's going to be choice for the client. Do they want to use partner-driven services, or do they want to use OEM or resold services from VMware from the partner? And it gives us, the partner, the opportunity to, do we want to own the asset and sell the service, or do we want to just sell the service on VMware's platform and give the client choice in a commoditized cloud infrastructure market that's really being driven today?
All right, now what about from a certification perspective? You were telling me just a couple minutes ago that you feel like you're jumping a couple more hurdles now than you had to before.
Yeah, well, obviously, as VMware's product set and solution set expand, the competency levels for different partners to be capable of delivering those solutions under very stringent guidelines using best practices and reference architectures put a lot of stress on the partner community. But more so, what it's doing is really putting pressure on us to understand where we're good and where we're not, and focus on what we're good and specializing on that with VMware. I think the days of having a VMware generalist be good to everybody is gone. It's now going to be companies like ourselves specializing in different unique aspects of the VMware technology and bringing that forth as value add to our clients.
Okay, now just to finish us off here, Terry, for other VMware partners, what's the number one takeaway that you've got out of VMware day one here?
Number one, just one?
Yeah, top takeaway priority.
Top takeaway priority, really focus on user experience and the use case of your client, and understand how that's going to layer back into the new VMware applications that are being released. If you're not user-centric, you're dead in the water.
That's great. Thanks so much, Terry. I'm Brian Jackson for IT World Canada. Check out our sites, itworldcanada.com and computerdealernews.com for more coverage from VMware.